I got a big win to share with you guys.
Oh, let's
My
hear it.
CSM just closed his first 5K PIF re-sign all by himself.
Yo, there
So
we
that was
go.
fucking sick.
Oh,
What'd
yeah.
that feel like, dude?
That like an hour ago. It was amazing. It literally he just like he told me he had this call coming up. He texted me after. He's like, dude, she closed. She's in. Send her the invoice.
It's
So
perfect.
that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the natural evolution of your back end system right now, right? Because you've been closing
Yeah.
those deals in the DMs just like
Yeah.
clockwork, basically. And
Yeah.
now you don't even have to, which basically is it feels like free money, right?
Yeah.
If you just have to send a couple messages, but if you don't even have to do that,
Yeah.
that's pretty sick.
Yeah, and with like what we're rolling out, basically we're re-signing people for 6 months for another six who still haven't mastered the fundamentals, and then we're signing people to our executive year-long offer for like, the next level. And so our average client LTV now is getting close to 10K, which is
Yo,
really nice because then that means I can spend so much to acquire a new customer.
yeah,
Uh,
dude.
yeah, it's a good feeling.
It's an amazing feeling, dude. Dude, that's the end state that we've been shooting for this whole time, and you're there. And for a fitness offer, I mean, a 10K LTV is really, really solid. Especially since, I mean, you are targeting professionals, right? But
Yeah,
it's not like you're targeting eight-figure entrepreneurs that are going to drop like 25K for a private coach, you know?
right.
So we have to work within the bounds of what's realistic with your target audience. And so I think where it's at now, I'm sure it can continue to grow as things
Yeah.
continue to develop, but where it's at now seems like it's in a really, really healthy spot.
Yeah, yeah, it seems really solid. Like front end, our ROAS is like 8 to 10x month over month, and then with the resigns, that basically doubles or triples the ROAS
Yeah, it's perfect.
long
So we have a
term.
nice renewal offer, nice continuation offer. So we're leveraging people, basically the lack of success to help continue the success with that end. And I'm sure they got, full success, right? But they're not
Yeah,
quite ready for the upsell. And then we got the proper upsell too. So,
yeah.
dude, awesome work, Zach.
Thanks.
And by the way, on the note, it's the same CSM, right, that we talked
Yeah,
about many, many
yeah,
months ago. So that's
yeah.
all been squared away. It's all good, and he's happy.
It's super good. Yeah, yeah. We had a great conversation. To give everyone else context, I talked to Alex, what, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago,
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
because my CSM was like basically wanted to make a like 60 to 80% off of resigns. Because at the moment he'd never been in business before. He didn't really understand like everything else that goes into it. And so he's like, well, I'm the one working with them. I'm responsible for this. And so I had a great conversation with him thanks to your help, Alex. And I put together kind of like a diagram of where all the funds from the business go to. And once he saw that, it kind of like opened his eyes. And he's like, "Oh shit, I see what you mean now. I don't need a bigger cut of the pie. We're making a bigger pie." And I was like, "Yeah, exactly." And so once that clicked, he's been like so on board, just like, yeah, doing everything he can to help us scale.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yes, it's interesting reframe too, where there was kind of like I don't know if adversarial is the most accurate term, but there was definitely a little bit of like a dynamic shift there where he was trying to take from the business and didn't fully, like you said, have full context and what goes into it. And I think with that one conversation, you very successfully neutralized that and then got him onto the same team. And it's like, hey, let's actually grow this thing together. I think that's something for us that's worth honing in on for just a second here, right? Is that unless you're working with someone who has run their own business before, the people on the team are not real entrepreneurs. And so they just simply don't know all the stuff that goes into running the business. Thus, their perception of things is going to be inaccurate. And the amount of money that they want to make in relation to what needs to happen to make that happen needs to be calibrated towards the truth, right? And I think I mean, Zach simply just transparently told the dude, like, hey, this is the business. This is what we can do. If you want to make more money, this is what needs to happen in order to make that happen. And I see like when I've consulted for other, larger teams and stuff, that those conversations never happened to that extent. Like I've consulted for teams where so much to the extent actually that they made us the system design, the sales part of the CS of the CRM had to be invisible to the CS team, and they just basically didn't want the team to know how much money was getting made, and it was creating a lot of really weird friction with the client success managers, and so. Um, it didn't work, by the way, for whatever it's worth. That company was making 1.3 million per month. And after that, things devolved quite a bit and lost the COO for similar kind of lack of transparency style of reasons. And then suite of CSMs left, and now it's not making as much money, and the back end offer was put on hold, and all this kind of stuff. And it all really just came down to a people issue. So to tie this off with Zach in particular, we avoided that with one difficult but really good conversation. And look at where we're at now. We got the dude closing back in sales. If you want a done for you client success system that lets you keep scaling your front end without breaking your business and generate results, referrals, and back end sales on autopilot, then click the link down below and let's make it happen.